is. All right, you guys, peep game. So, all right, so the fight is less than 2 days away. I just got through talking to Bill. They got to do some media stuff and then the weigh in on Thursday. So, um, I won't be able to attend the fight because, I have to take care of some stuff here, but I will be able to uh, do the fight in Vegas on Sunday anyway. But nevertheless, you know, the way Devin Haney has been treated by some boxers, by fans, and by media people for basically doing what he's supposed to do is just mind boggling. To see him being booed and stuff by a lot of these fans and stuff, and most of them are primarily non-black. But then, of course, you have the sellouts and the handkerchief heads, those type of people that follow a wave. Like I said, sometimes black people are the biggest supporters of white supremacy and racism because they like to follow a wave. They don't mind sucking up to everybody else, but then when it pertains to looking out and taking care of each other, all of a sudden they act like it's a taboo or like it's something to be ashamed of, but everybody else stick together to go against us. So, it is what it is, unfortunately. But um I just hope Devin is motivated. At the end of the day, I get tired of people saying, well, I'll play the villain role. Why do you got to play the villain when you did nothing wrong? When Ryan Garcia is the one that cheated, he got all these excuses about how that stuff got in his system, except, for him just being a man, it admitted that he cheated, and that's it. But to see Devin Haney vilified and despised, so he was supposed to sit up there and accept a victory from a dude who had something in the system. And everybody trying to be scientists and talk about the amount. Listen, it don't matter about the hook and all this kind of stuff. It was tainted. It is what it is. He cheated. He cheated. He changed his story so many times, and everybody okay with that. But it just goes to show you, it just goes to show you that when you are a black man, you're public enemy number one. And don't nobody come on here and say race has nothing to do with it. It has everything to do with this. And then this is why I keep saying nobody really called out Ryan Garcia for cheating. You had people making excuses for him, like Ellie Setback, his sorry ass, and a few other people. They trying to act like they nutritionists and they're scientists and they know how PEDs work. Because at the end of the day, a lot of people had uh, you know, had a agenda. So, and then everybody keep blaming Bill and all this stuff, saying he need to fire Bill and all this kind of stuff. Well, at the end of the day, that's Devin's decision. And then I'm going to tell you something else. People really do have this thing against black fathers being present. They don't like to see that because I keep telling you they want to keep pushing this stigma that black men are absentee fathers. Listen, there's white absentee fathers, there's non-black absentee fathers, but they always seem to zero in on just black men because they want to make black men the story of negativity, or they just want to make black man the story, the theme, period. So, that's why you got guys like me here to debunk that kind of stuff. I've been in my son's life the entire time he's been on this planet. Okay. I've been to every graduation except when he graduated from college. That's it. That's all. I've always been there. Like I said before, they have this thing that they want to push. They will find something wrong. They don't have no problem with Ryan Garcia's father being president, but they don't have no problem with Tiafimo Sr. But then they don't tell them to get rid of their fathers, but they want Devin to get rid of his father. And that's why I don't pay attention to these clowns, because a lot of these people are clowns. And that's all it come down to. At the end of the day, it makes me think about this thing going on with Sador Sanders. Like, Devin went to, Devin had a good upbringing. He didn't have to, you know, he didn't have to resort to the streets. At the end of the day, you want better for your children. but people have a problem with that. And then you still have people look down on you and make you feel guilty if you don't come from the ghetto. And that's a theme not only that black people push sometimes. You seeing probably what's going on with Shedeur Sanders. I do think there is something to that. What people were saying about the NFL, they like to have this theme. They like to have the the overseer, white savior complex when it pertains to these young men. But to see Devin being treated like this, and he was the one that was dead wrong, it's almost mind-boggling and it's shocking. And we know if this was the other way around, if Devin was the one that popped dirty for PEDs, people would be saying he need to be out of box and they would be calling for his head on a stick. But then again, like I said, you had people in the media that condoned Ryan Garcia cheating, tried to make him out to be a victim. How are you a victim when you did something wrong? That's what I don't understand. That's like somebody violating somebody. But then again, we're living in those times where people violate and make excuses for people doing shit they ain't got no business doing. That's like somebody violating a woman or something, or a child or something. But then, they're mad at the person that report them. But that's the times we're living in now, where people promote the wrong thing. Or they try to make excuses where they try to make you feel guilty about doing what you were supposed to do. This thing with Devin isn't the first time. And once again, I came with facts. I've gave quite a few incidents where fighters sued fighters, but nobody wants to hear that because they all about riding this wave, listening to a lot of these content creators, and the black ones are worse than the white ones at times because they want views and stuff. And they like to cater to races. Well, I don't cater to no races, and I don't go against my own. So you got the wrong fucking guy if you think I'm gonna do that. Now, at times I have to scold my people, but at the same time, I'm not against my people. But anyway, I just wanted to say that to the people that sitting up here like having an issue with Devin, like it just shows who you really are as a person. That you don't have no integrity, you don't have no moral compass. You're sorry. And that's all it come down to. Says a lot about you. Anyway, I'm out.